You're listening to the Sports Fix.
Portions of the Sports Fix brought to you by Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck, home of the low price tire guarantee. quicklane.com/Valley Ford Truck.
Sports Fix listeners, don't wait all day or all week to get in on the fun. The party doesn't stop when we go off the air all week long. The Sports Fix social media sites are your one-stop shop for all things Cleveland sports. Jump over to Facebook.com/TheSportsFix, Facebook.com/TheSportsFix, and become a fan today because we love fans and they create some of the best sports talk in town, Daddy. You'll enjoy talking to your fellow Cleveland sports fans on the Sports Fix fan page. And if Twitter's your thing, well, you know how we do it. Tweet with us at the SportsFix CLE. It's that simple.
Twitter.com/TheSportsFix CLE, baby.
Chat live with the crew during all your favorite Cleveland sports events, tickets and contests and trivia and so much more. Get with us today, the Sports Fix on social media, Facebook.com/TheSportsFix. Tweet with us at the SportsFix CLE. Join the Sports Fix on Facebook and Twitter today.
I'm Tyler Zeller, and you're listening to the Sports Fix.
Live in Ohio, it's time to get your fix. The Sports Fix.
Welcome to the Sports Fix. That's right. Tyler Zeller, no longer of the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think I've corrected all those pesky changes that the Cavaliers have put us through in the last couple of weeks there. Welcome in, everybody. Tuesday, and I'll tell you, I use this term a lot, but it is a jam-packed edition of the Sports Fix today. We've got a lot on tap, a lot to get into. Jeff Gorman from Indians101.com is going to join us less than 15 minutes from now. We'll talk about last night, and I guess, the initial look is, the Indians come in on a roll, kind of let one get away. Josh Willingham hurts them there after a nice little comeback effort, but look underneath the surface of last night's loss, and we may remember yesterday as a very key date. Who knows how it turns out, but that may be the beginning of a whole lot more as Drupal Cabrera goes down simultaneously. Francisco Lindor begins his ascent, and we're going to talk a whole lot more about that. Is the kid ready? Because I'm telling you, his time is coming sooner rather than later. I think he is, and we're going to talk about that. Mike Brandenberry, as a matter of fact, just a little tease. Mike sent me a message here just before we went on the air, said to let you guys know that within about an hour or so, somewhere in the middle of today's show, they're going to be uploading a feature on Francisco Lindor, including Mike's sit-down interview with him from just a few days ago, and we were talking back and forth just a little bit, and 1 p.m. he confirmed that's when that's going up on didthetribewinlastnight.com. So when we take our break around that time, jump over there and take a look at that. The best young player the Indians have developed since Manny Ramirez, and if you want to consider a pitcher a player, CC Sabathia. That's coming from Mike Brandenberry here, teasing that story and the ascent of Francisco Lindor. We're going to talk about that with Jeff Gorman, with each and every one of you guys. Dr. Football's in the house. NFL camps are rolling. The Browns are getting ready to go to work. Mike Pettin spoke out on a bunch of things yesterday. We're going to talk about all of the latest. Speaking of speaking out, I'll talk. Actually, I'm going to start off the show and talk about this in a minute. Everybody up in arms over Tony Dungys right now. But I say, what's the difference between what he said and what people said about drafting Johnny Football? But we'll get into that in just a moment here. Talking with Dr. Football Bill Chachkes a little bit later on in the show. Doug Plagens, the voice of the Cleveland Gladiators from the Arena Football League and the Lake Erie Monsters hockey squad. Doug's going to be with us here to talk about the Gladiators' continued playoff push. All of that. We've got a ton of news, your calls and takes, and so much more. Let's do it, baby. Welcome on into the Sports Fix. J-Rock, Jerry Myers with you here each and every weekday, live at noon across the Sports Fix Radio Network, which is live. Websites like TuneIn and Spreaker and Mixler, and on digital delay on iHeartRadio and iTunes and Stitcher Radio and so many other platforms there. Welcome in each and every one of you guys, whichever way you choose to join the show, whatever time it is, however you do it. Thank you guys so much for being with us. And I want you to be not only with us, but be a part of the conversation, be a part of the show. And you do that by getting in on the phones. You got very limited windows today because we're loaded with guests. You've got probably the next maybe 8 to 10 minutes, and then the back segment of the show, 216-539-7535, 216-539-7535. Much more easy and convenient throughout the show. If it is to use social media, then do just that. Facebook.com/TheSportsFix. Tweet with us at TheSportsFixCLE. Email us, TheSportsFix@AOL.com. Use those to stay in touch with the show. And as we said, the website is TheSportsFix.net. And it is your launch point and your destination for all things Sports Fix and Cleveland sports, live shows, replays, the social media widgets, all of that and so much more. It's right there on the launching pad, thesportsfix.net. So tell you what, guys, as we roll into the show, I'm going to talk Tribe here in just a few minutes. So I'm going to wait for Jeff on that one. Although, man, the comments, I'm telling you, already coming in. Francisco Lindor fever, it's coming. Before I even get into anything else, let me tell you. Yeah, I've seen going around social media, maybe you guys have seen this trend for people to do these, I'm so, and then the hometown, and then they talk about something they remember. I'm so Cleveland, I'm so this, I'm so that, and then they'll say something that you would only remember if you lived in that town. Well, let me tell you, I'm so Cleveland, it's rubbing off on my children, and they are so Cleveland too. Let me tell you, my 7-year-old's introduction to being a person, an athlete, a competitor, a fan, all of that in Cleveland. My man, little Josh, man, playing Little League Baseball this year, and it's his first year not playing T-ball. He's playing coach pitch, and pretty cool. You know, I mean, hey, I always joke that Little League is the gift that just keeps on giving because, I mean, you've got like those couple of teams. I'm sure every league's the same way. You've got those couple of teams where everybody plays pretty well. You can relatively field the ball. The routine play looks routine. You get a much better appreciation for the routine play when you watch Little League ball, by the way. And I'm telling you, I've watched kids turn a bunt back to the pitcher into an inside the park home run. I mean, it's quite comical and fun to watch. I mean, because it's not about winning or losing. But check this out. My son, his team, right? It was kind of like just a hodgepodge. These aren't players that played together. These are a lot of guys, a lot of kids and girls. They're all mixed together. And that's a shame. I remember I played in the same league as my son. Just a side point on how baseball has slipped with the youth and the popularity. When I played in this exact same league, there were hundreds of kids, boys and girls. There was an entire girls' league where they had a roster of 8 solid teams, full rosters, you know, of all girls, good, you know, a whole league. And the same with the men's teams. Every division had multiple teams and multiple groupings. And, I mean, there was thousands of kids every summer played in this league. And my kids now play in the same league that I played in when I was younger. There's not even enough players to field one league. So they have to group these leagues together, like 3 or 4 different leagues now have to get together and schedule all of their teams against each other so that they can play games. I mean, it's ridiculous, the number of people. I mean, so it's just different. I'm shocked at how many. And, a lot of people are more into, I think the better players now gravitate towards those, traveling teams and the AAU. I don't know if that's what it's called on the baseball level, but you know what I'm saying. Those type of teams you don't see as much in the traditional little leagues, I don't think, because I definitely see the difference. I'm like, wow, I was shocked when I saw the number of teams. But anyway, so my little guy, he's playing, and they lost their first game of the season, then cleared house. These guys went undefeated. They went on a run, man. They was Rocky Marciano, man. They lost their first game, and then they whooped everybody. And they were going. Best player on their team was a little girl. This girl clears the bases every time she hits it. I'm telling you. And so yesterday they had their Cleveland sports moment, no doubt about it. As they and hopefully that worm is turning. But it was his introduction. They showed up yesterday, and 3 of the coaches were stuck at work, couldn't make it there. So you had one coach on the team there trying to handle this whole thing. the two best players, including the girl that I was just talking about. One of them's on vacation and stuck in another state. The other one's having surgery that day. So neither one of them can make it. So you're missing your two best players. So now you've got all the other players who kind of fill the gaps between the two players who clear the bases throughout the season. And let's just say the lineup was much less threatening. And then they went out there and they played like it was the very first game that they'd ever played together. It was a comedy of errors. It wasn't funny, but it was because it's Little League. But anyways, at the end of the day, everything that could go wrong went wrong. And the best reaction was because they were killing everybody. They were just rolling teams throughout the regular season. You go to the ice cream place where all the other teams are. They're like, yeah, you guys won. No. Oh, what? Nobody could believe it. But then again, I was laughing. I said, well, welcome to Cleveland, son. I said, it happens to all of us. I mean, at least you got the first one out of the way there, because everything that could go wrong did go. Coaches weren't there. The best players weren't there. And it was anyway. So, but hey, it's not even about winning and losing. It's about the game. And let me tell you, you can't appreciate the game until you've spent some time watching certain levels of Little League baseball. I'm telling you, you get a much better appreciation for the routine play. And all of a sudden, the Indians don't look so bad sometimes when they're booting the ball around out there. But all joking aside, I'm just being funny. But I wanted to drop that on you. Hey, you know what? And we're going to talk more about this. I see Jeff Gorman's going to be with us within about 5 minutes from now, so holding off on talking Tribe until he joins us. This Tony Dungys thing. Listen, I want to touch on this for a minute, and then I'm going to come back to it when Dr. Football joins us, because I'm sure he's got some things to say too. But I think this is all a bunch of ado about nothing, because Tony Dungys came out. Tony Dungys did not speak out about anything that has to do with Michael Sam's lifestyle or anything like that. What Tony Dungys said, and correct me if I'm wrong, was he made a statement to the effect that he would not have drafted Michael Sam because of everything that comes with him. And I don't understand exactly what people misunderstood about that, because if there's anybody in the NFL or in sports that it preaches tolerance and understands and does not have a bigoted bone in his body, I would think Tony Dungys fits into that category, guys. And what I saw, this is me just listening and reading my reaction to it, is it's the same as the people that argued against Johnny Football being drafted not just by the Browns, but by any team that was talking about it, because it is a massive distraction. And I will tell you this, I think it's even a different situation than Manziel on a different level, because at least he is in the conversation to start or be a contributing major player. Plus, he's a featured position as far as the quarterback. We're talking about a 7th round draft pick that, if we were being totally honest, could very easily have not been drafted at all. And you've got the Oprah documentary and other people that want to come and follow his story that has nothing to do with the football. And I just think that Tony Dungys, and I could be wrong, and I'm sure that he will clarify this at some point now that it's a big thing and it's out there, but I don't think Tony Dungys in any way was referring to anything that had to do with Michael Sam's homosexuality directly, as much as simply saying, for a guy who is maybe, lucky for him if he works hard enough, going to qualify for one of the lower spots on the roster, a guy who was a negligible draft pick except for his notable situation and his notoriety. Is it worth the distraction that it's going to cause my team? Is it worth it? And he said in his consideration, no. He would say, no, I don't want that on my team. It's almost like weighing the risk versus the reward and deciding, hey, it's not worth it. He didn't say, he even went so far as to come out and say that he thinks Michael Sam should get a chance in the NFL. He didn't say, hey, this kid shouldn't be in the NFL. He didn't say anything about the lifestyle, anything like that. So I don't know why people are jumping so quickly down Tony Dungys' throat, unless there's more. Maybe there's more to the quotes that I didn't hear. I don't know. Please feel free to straighten me out. Hit me up on Facebook, facebook.com/thesportsfix. Tweet with us at thesportsfixcle. Email us, thesportsfix@AOL.com. But in my opinion, he was simply saying, for a guy that I don't know what impact he'll make on our season, if any at all this year, it's not worth the incredibly increased distractions and focus and problems that it may cause. These media issues may distract some of the players that I need, that I'm counting on to actually win games this year. And this becomes different. Hey, if Michael Sam proves everybody wrong, people do it all the time. If he proves everybody wrong, proves himself to be that he should be in a starting position, he should be, whatever his talent, that will flesh itself out, whatever level his talent puts himself at. But I agree wholeheartedly. So I guess if you're mad at Tony Dungys, maybe you're mad at me too. I agree if I'm reading what he said correctly, I agree with what he said. He was